Hey guys, welcome to section 6.2. This is solving linear systems by substitution. So the other day we did solving systems by graphing, but sometimes equations are not easy to graph. So we need a new method. So here's our second method. It's called substitution. Now, first of all, there's a really big typo that I want you guys to fix. On number 1, can you make y equal to 9 instead? And in number 2, instead of a 1, can you guys make this a -6? Otherwise, the problems were going to be kind of nasty. Okay, so real quick, number 1 typo, this y should be 9, and number 2 typo, this should be a -6. And then we're good to go. Okay, so substitution says, if we know that y equals 9, then we can plug in 9 for y in the other equation. We can make a substitution. So instead of writing 4x plus y equals 1, I'm going to write it as 4x plus 9 equals 1. Because if y is 9, let's just sub in 9 for y. Okay, so the y comes out and the 9 goes in. And then isn't this really easy to solve? Think back to first semester. Just draw the wall and solve. So -9 to both sides, these cancel. We get 4x equals -8. And then divide by 4, divide by 4. So x equals -2, right? So x is -2. And then we know that y is 9. And that's your answer. Well, if we write it as an ordered pair, -2, 9. Okay, so that's substitution. But they're going to get a little bit harder. Okay, so number 2, see how it says y equals 2x? Well, that means that in this other equation, wherever we see a y, we can replace it with 2x. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this, but now it's going to be 4x plus y. We're subbing in 2x. And then equals that -6. So same idea, we're just substituting 2x in for y. And then you guys know how to solve this one, right? We're going to add like terms. So we have 6x equals -6. And then if you divide by 6, we get x equals -1. Now this one we have to do a little bit more work to find y. Y is equal to 2 times whatever x is. So what's 2 times -1? That's -2, right? So y is actually going to equal -2. All right, and as an ordered pair x comma y, the answer is -1, -2. Okay, number 3 is just one step harder, but same idea. See how it says y equals 2x plus 7? Well, that means in this equation, wherever we see a y, we can substitute in 2x plus 7. All right, so let's rewrite this. But now, instead of writing the y, we're going to put in its place 2x plus 7. Okay, so see how we just made a little substitution. And again, you guys know how to solve this. If we add like terms, we have 6x plus 7 equals 1. And then we'll draw the wall and solve. So -7 to both sides. You get 6x equals -6, and then divide by 6 both sides. X is going to be -1. And then again, we have to do a little bit of work to find y. Y is going to be 2 times x plus 7. And I'm going to get out a calculator to do that. All right, so what's 2 times -1? Right? 2 times x plus 7. We get 5. So y is going to be 5. And then as an ordered pair, x comma y, the answer is -1, 5. All right, so that's substitution. All right, so let's go through the steps because a lot of people have trouble with substitution the first time. So here's the steps for solving it. Step 1, isolate one variable. You have to get one variable alone. Isolate means get it alone. Step 2, substitute one equation into the other one. Okay. Step 3, solve for one of the variables, x or y. Then step 4, use that value to solve for the other variable. And then lastly, you can check your answer, but you don't have to do this step, that's optional. All right, so let's move on and try number 1 here. Okay, so if you guys look back at your sheet, step 1 said isolate one variable. See how y is already alone? See how it says y equals? So we're already isolated. Okay, so we're ready for step 2. Substitute one equation into the other. So see how it says y equals 3x plus 2? That means in the other equation, wherever we see a y, we're going to substitute it with 3x plus 2. Okay, so we're putting this down in this one. So now if we rewrite it, it's x plus 2 times, we're not going to write y, we're going to replace it with 3x plus 2. And then that still equals 11. And the reason I put parentheses is because there was a 2 in front of the y, so we have to remember to distribute the 2 when we solve. Okay, and then step 3, go ahead and solve. So we're going to distribute the 2 and get x plus 6x plus 4 equals 11, right? We're just multiplying. And then we're going to add like terms. 1x plus 6x is 7x plus 4 equals 11. And then we're going to draw the wall and minus the 4 from both sides. You guys are pros at this by now. 7x equals 7. And then divide by 7, divide by 7. So x equals 1. Okay, so if x equals 1, now remember we have to plug it back in to find y. And I always think it's easier to plug it into the isolated one. So y is going to be, what's 3 times 1 plus 2? So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. So y is going to be 5. Okay, so final answer as an ordered pair is 1, 5. All right, guys, I know this video is getting long. I would like to do one where x is isolated. Okay, so one more if you have it in you. If you really can't take any more, you can stop it now. All right, so look at number 2. Isolate one variable. On this problem, the x is isolated. Because see how it says x equals? So in this problem, in the other equation, wherever you see an x, we're going to substitute it with negative 3y plus 5. All right, so I'm going to rewrite this. It's going to be y minus 2 times x, but we're not going to write x. We're going to replace x with negative 3y plus 5. And then finish it off equals negative 3. So you can substitute x or y, whichever one's isolated. And then now the easy part, just solve. So we're going to distribute a negative 2. It's going to be y plus 6y minus 10 equals negative 3. And then we're going to add like terms. 1y plus 6y is 7y minus 10 equals negative 3. And then the rest is history. You guys know. We're going to add 10, get 7y equals 7, divide by 7, divide by 7. Y is going to be 1. And now to find x, again, I always like to plug it into the isolated one. To find x, it's going to be negative 3 times 1 plus 5. And if you want to do that in the calculator, negative 3 times 1 plus 5 is 2. So x is going to be 2. And then final answer, x comma y is 2 comma 1. All right, awesome job, guys. If this didn't make sense, don't worry. We have the whole class tomorrow to practice. All right, this is substitution. Thanks for watching.